The door you thought was closed forever may be reopening on June 1st, but one thing must be left behind. June 1st is not random. Heaven marked this date. This is not a coincidence. This is not a vague intuition. The clock of heaven has ticked toward a moment that was etched long before your calendar recognized it. June 1st is not just another turning of the page. It is a divine appointment carved into the sacred fabric of time. Archangel Michael, heaven's chief messenger and mighty defender, hath been stationed at this threshold, watching, waiting, and warring on your behalf. You thought it was over. You thought the chapter had been sealed, the door bolted shut by the hand of destiny. But heaven disagrees. What man called final, God merely labeled pause. And now, the rusted hinges of an ancient promise begin to creak once more. There is one among you, yes, one reading this now, who knows this message burns like fire in their spirit. This is not for everyone. This is not for the curious or the casual. This is for the called. This is for the one who has wept in secret, the one who has walked through shadowy corridors of uncertainty wondering if God forgot their name. Heaven has forgotten. Heaven has watched. And heaven has preserved. But the warning is clear. Though the door begins to shift, not all may enter as they are. Before it opens, something must die. A mindset, a relationship, a regret, a behavior, a version of you that can no longer travel forward. That weight you cling to, it will disqualify your entrance. Silence is your weapon now. Surrender is your offering. Discernment is your shield. For what is coming demands a stripped spirit and a purified heart. The time is now. June 1st is more than a date. It is a summons. And you, beloved, have just been called. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 999 is now surrounding you. Archangel Michael enters your atmosphere this moment. This is not a metaphor. This is not poetic exaggeration. This is a spiritual invasion of holy ground into your living space, your scrolling feed, your distracted moment. Right now, as you read these words, Archangel Michael, the warring guardian of destiny and defender of the chosen, has stepped into your atmosphere with a sword drawn and a scroll unsealed. This message is not just content, it is a divine disruption. By midnight tonight, something will shift for you. This is the command from heaven's front lines. Not a hope, not a suggestion, a decree. Heaven has marked your midnight as a point of spiritual intersection. Before the clock completes its next cycle, something hidden shall surface, something broken shall bend, something sealed shall stir again. And if your heart is tuned, you will feel it. This shift is spiritual before it is visible. It is internal before it is external. And only those walking in stillness will perceive it. Divine tension surrounds this message. Don't ignore it. This is a sacred discomfort. The angels are rustling. The atmosphere is pregnant with expectancy. That feeling in your chest, that stirring in your soul, it's not anxiety. It's the vibration of heaven aligning with earth. Don't silence it. Don't scroll past it. Heaven interrupted your moment because you've been heard. Your tears are archived in the throne room. Your sighs have been interpreted by the Spirit. And now, the response comes wrapped in divine instruction. There's a release coming, but not without obedience. This isn't just about receiving. This is about refining. Obedience is the currency that buys your next miracle. Heaven is not interested in casual agreement. God is looking for surrender, not of your dreams, but of your control. Will you trust Him enough to let go of your own timeline? Will you believe enough to walk in silence? Obedience is your offering now, and the altar is your patience. Only those who stay still in this moment will perceive. A noise will distract. Fear will lie. Emotions will betray. But stillness is sacred. The Spirit of the living God is whispering amidst the chaos. He's guiding your feet away from danger, realigning your focus, preparing your heart. Stillness is not inaction. It is prophetic positioning. Only the still can hear the shift. Only the still can feel the crack of the door. The door is cracking open. Can your spirit handle it? You prayed for an opening, but are you prepared for what comes with it? Because this is not just a return. It is a reckoning. The door you thought closed is moving again, but it brings both opportunity and accountability. Some will try to enter with baggage. Others will try to follow you in. But heaven is clear. Not everything and not everyone can come through. So Archangel Michael stands now, flaming sword in hand, guarding what's next. He has come to protect the sacred, to secure the gate, and to whisper to your spirit, prepare, for the time is near. Midnight is not the end. It is the unveiling. And it begins now. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1516 is now activated. They told you it was finished, but left loose ends. You were given closure with no clarity. A goodbye without a reason. A silence that screamed louder than words. And yet something still lingers. A door that looked sealed still breathes. You sensed it, haven't you? In the whisper of your dreams, in the tension of your spirit. A gnawing, sacred unrest. Because heaven never called it over. Heaven only called it paused. Someone has been watching you, silently curious. Not every presence has left. Some linger in shadows, observing your rise. They are not speaking, but they are watching. They are not close, but they are not gone. You feel their energy. You see their name in strange places. You dream of their face with no explanation. Spiritually, the cord was never fully cut. But now, you stand at a divine crossroads where that tether must be questioned. Strange dreams, delays, and eerie synchronicities rise. Have you noticed it? The dreams that feel more like warnings. The delays that seem almost supernatural. The timing that defies logic. These are not coincidences. They are spiritual smoke signals. Your spirit is sensitive because your assignment is sensitive. When timelines begin to shift, the supernatural often leaks into the natural. Pay attention. The invisible realm is not quiet. Heaven and hell both have their eyes on this opening. There's chatter about your name in secret places. Your name is being mentioned in rooms you've never entered. In prayers whispered both for you and against you. You are not forgotten. You are focal. And not all attention is anointed. Some voices carry jealousy. Some curiosity. Others, demonic assignment. But none of it matters when God covers your identity with glory. You may not know what's being said, but heaven knows. And heaven protects. You feel the weight of something unresolved. A heaviness. A ache. It is not weakness. It is discernment. You're sensing what hasn't yet been revealed. There's a spiritual file still open. A case in the courts of heaven waiting to be finalized. Something left unsaid is trying to re-enter your life under disguise. Be cautious. The enemy often wears the familiar to enter unnoticed. But the past cannot come through this new door. You must decide now. Is your future worth more than your nostalgia? Are you willing to disappoint the past in order to honor your destiny? The old version of you would have answered the call, chased the ghost, entertained the return. But the evolved you knows better. The new door is not a revolving one. Once you step in, the old must be buried. Question what's surfacing now. It's not random. Everything showing up now is part of the testing. Every text, every dream, every delay, it's all signaling something spiritual. Don't interpret with your feelings. See with your spirit. Ask the Holy Spirit, not your emotions. Because what you discern now determines what you walk into next. The veil is thin. The season is shifting. And heaven is asking you, can you let go of what feels familiar, even when it tries to return wrapped in apology? If this message resonates with you and you feel moved to support, consider giving a super thanks with contributions of up to $20. Your kindness helps us bring more powerful content your way. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type I am ready in the comments if you receive this message. Lesson code 4488 has now been released. What looked like rejection was divine redirection. Listen closely. What you called abandonment, heaven called alignment. The pain you felt, the silence you endured, the door that slammed in your face was not punishment, it was preservation. That opportunity that dissolved, that relationship that vanished, that room that locked itself against your knocking. It wasn't the enemy winning. It was God shielding you from a counterfeit season. You weren't being ignored. You were being insulated. You were being punished. You were being protected. The tears you cried were not wasted. They were watering the soil of a better promise. You weren't locked out. You were being protected. Archangel Michael says, heaven sealed that door for a reason you couldn't yet see. Had you walked through that door before now, you would have carried wounds not meant to be yours. You would have aligned with timelines that corrupted your divine assignment. You thought you were ready, but heaven knew better. What you called delay was heaven building a shield around your destiny. And every denial was divine fingerprint evidence that you were being pulled into something greater. God used the closed door to refine your discernment. This season wasn't about loss. It was about learning. Discernment isn't given. It's developed. God needed your yes to mean something. He needed you to stop chasing things with your emotions and start choosing things with your spirit. The closed door trained your ear. It made you sensitive. You now walk with deeper eyes. You know the difference between a good thing and a God thing. The old you was desperate for access. The new you is determined to protect your peace. This is spiritual maturity, and it cost you everything. You are chosen, and being tested for elevation. You are not average. You are not ordinary. You are not one among the crowd. You are chosen. And with being chosen comes the fire, the refining, the silence, the long nights where heaven seems distant. But now, hear this. Elevation is not a reward. It's a responsibility. And heaven hath been testing your response, your restraint, your reaction. The next level is not just an opportunity. It is a stewardship. How you handled the stillness has proven you're ready for the sound of divine release. The delay was your shield. Now is your summons. Do not misinterpret what heaven has allowed. The pause was not a punishment. The slow motion was not a sign of forgetfulness. God was working while you were waiting. He was arranging while you were aching. He was moving pieces you couldn't see, negotiating outcomes you never imagined. And now, the summons comes. Prepare your spirit. Heaven is calling you forward. The door is not just opening randomly. It is opening for you. How you handle this return determines your rise. You will be faced with a familiar situation, a recurring scenario, a face from your history. But you must respond from your healed place, not your hurt place. The test is simple. Can you remain rooted when the wind returns? Can you walk in wisdom, not just passion? Can you say no when your past whispers yes? This return is not about validation. It is about verification. Heaven is watching. The door is opening, but your discernment will determine how far you walk through it. Heaven has eyes on your next move. Tread wisely. You are not moving alone. You are not deciding in isolation. The cloud of witnesses is observing. Angels are documenting. Destiny is leaning in. You cannot afford to be careless now. The path before you is narrow. It is sacred. It is weighty. Let your steps be ordered. Let your thoughts be filtered through wisdom. Let your heart stay surrendered. Archangel Michael reminds you now, your rise is near, but it demands reverence. Walk carefully. Walk boldly. But above all, walk aligned. Type "I am walking in wisdom" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 7777 is surrounding your steps. Before June 1st, someone from your past may reach out. This is the season of almost. The enemy knows your door is swinging open. He knows heaven is releasing what was once restrained. And so, just before the moment, just before the shift, he sends a distraction, a ghost, a memory, a message, a familiar voice that once held power over your emotions. But hear this warning: not every voice returning is sent by God. Just because it's familiar doesn't mean it's faithful. Just because it feels timely doesn't mean it's divine. You'll be tempted to reconnect. Be careful why. Temptation never arrives as darkness. It comes cloaked in nostalgia. It reminds you of laughter, a comfort, of what was with. But God is not interested in what once was. He is invested in what will be. And what's approaching may seem innocent. A check-in, a curiosity, a small invitation. But behind it may be a spiritual trap to pull you back into patterns heaven delivered you from. Guard your heart. Test every spirit. Ask who sent this. Not everyone returning is sent by heaven's hand. Some returns are rehearsed by hell. The enemy sends distractions to delay the obedient, to bind the elevated, to confuse the called. Just because someone says the right things doesn't mean their presence carries the right spirit. Some people have not changed. They have only adapted. Watch closely. Are their actions aligned with their words? Or are they dressed in manipulation, wearing the perfume of your past? A decision you make will shift spiritual timelines. What you choose in these next 72 hours is not casual. It had a litter. This moment is heavy with consequence. If you reattach where God has severed, you will forfeit what's opening. If you delay your decision, you will defer your destiny. Heaven is not playing games with this gate. This is not a test you can retake. Your choice creates ripples into your future, into your calling, into your legacy. In the next 72 hours, truth will surface painfully. Something hidden will be exposed. A motive, a lie, a spirit. Don't panic. Don't react. Let it confirm what heaven has already whispered. Truth is painful, but it is protective. What comes to light now is meant to fortify your discernment. Don't justify it. Don't argue with it. Let the truth sit in your spirit and act accordingly. What you do next is your obedience speaking louder than your words. Someone wants access again, but hasn't changed. Archangel Michael issues this alert. What's knocking may look familiar, but its intent is not pure. Someone sees your light and wants to bask in it, but they haven't earned the right. They want your presence, not your process. Your energy, not your elevation. Your attention, not your anointing. Shut the door. Protect your oil. You owe no explanations. You owe obedience to God alone. Guard your gates. Not all invitations are divine. Protect your phone. Protect your thoughts. Protect your peace. Not every text needs a reply. Not every how are you needs a response. Guard your gates, your eyes, your ears, your emotions. What you allow in now either blesses or burdens your breakthrough. This moment is holy. Don't let the past desecrate it. Type "I choose obedience" in the comments if you receive this message. Lesson code 3030 has just been activated over your choices. You must move in stillness. Be led, not loud. This is not a season for announcements. It is not a moment for declarations shouted into the void. This is not the time to tell the world what you're preparing for. The strategy of heaven right now is stillness. Stillness is not the absence of action. It is the presence of direction. Stillness does not mean you are idle. It means you are invisible to the wrong spirits. Archangel Michael speaks now. Heaven has covered you with the cloak of silence for your protection, not your punishment. Let heaven do the heavy lifting behind closed doors. Too often, you've tried to carry what was never meant to be your burden. You've spoken too soon, moved too quickly, shared too much with those who weren't called to your journey. But heaven says now, rest your tongue and lift your spirit. There is a battalion of angels warring over your timeline. Heaven is shifting things that would have crushed you had you handled them alone. Some miracles don't need an audience, they just need your obedience in the dark. Pray for clarity, not connection. Silence is strategy. In this moment, resist the urge to chase connection. Do not misinterpret loneliness as a lack of favor. You are not alone. You are hidden. Hidden by God so you can hear Him more clearly. And what should your prayer be? Not for more opportunities. Not for more people. Pray for clarity. Because clarity will save you from counterfeit assignments. Clarity will save you from old temptations dressed in new clothes. Your silence is not weakness. It is your wisdom. Heaven is whispering strategy to those who are quiet enough to listen. The Holy Spirit is your only guide in this season. No friend, no mentor, no social media influencer can guide you through this next gate. Only the Spirit of truth can reveal what's real and what's rehearsal. Ask the Holy Spirit to scan your inbox, your emotions, your decisions. Let Him convict you before you commit. Let Him check your peace before you proceed. This next step must be Spirit-led, not pressure-led, not pain-led, not people-led. You've done that before and it cost you dearly. It's time. Trust the wind, not the waves. Lay down the need to explain yourself or defend. This is the hour to say less. No explanations. No defending your silence. No posting cryptic messages for those who left you confused. God will clarify what needs to be known in His time. Your defense is divine. The vindication of heaven is more powerful than any argument you could offer. They don't need to understand your silence. They are not meant to. What you're birthing now is sacred. Do not let the need to be understood sabotage what's being conceived in quiet. Say less, see more. Your silence is spiritual power. There is a power in silence that shakes the foundations of darkness. When you close your mouth and lift your faith, angels move. When you retreat into the presence of God, revelation flows. You've been speaking from pain. Now it's time to listen from purpose. Heaven is downloading blueprints, assignments, realignment. But the volume of the world must be turned down so the voice of the Spirit can rise. Be still, beloved. The plan is forming. You are being preserved, not overlooked. You've looked at others and felt behind. You've watched their rise and questioned your delay. But heaven speaks this over you now. You are not behind. You are preserved. Like a seed buried, not because it died, but because it's about to emerge stronger. The time in the dark wasn't punishment, it was preparation. You are not overlooked. You are covered. You are not abandoned. You are shielded. And when the time is right, the unveiling will be unmistakable. Type "I am hidden for glory" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 6226 is being activated for divine preservation. You are not the same one who begged to stay. Let that truth hit your spirit. Let it echo in your soul. The version of you who pleaded to be chosen, who begged to be seen, who compromised to be accepted, that version has been laid to rest. The tears that were once your identity have now become your testimony. You no longer stand in desperation. You stand in dominion. You no longer shrink to fit. You rise to lead. You no longer ask for permission to exist. You walk in power. The healed version of you doesn't chase the past. There was a time you would have run back. There was a time you would have answered that text, reopened that chapter, reignited that flame. But no more. The healed version of you has boundaries, and those boundaries are bathed in fire. The healed you doesn't revisit graves to find life. The healed you knows resurrection power is for you, not the things God told you to release. The healed you doesn't ask why did they leave, but instead declares, "Thank you, Lord, they're gone." You've grown. You carry fire, not fear. Every silent night forged you. Every unanswered prayer sharpened your discernment. Every betrayal carved out deeper faith. You are not weak. You are not lost. You are not wandering. You are rising. You traded your fear for fire. And this fire, this anointing, burns differently. It repels what's unclean. It illuminates what's divine. It reveals the fakes and confirms the real. You no longer walk timid. You walk torched with the authority of the one who sent you. This isn't just a return. It's a resurrection. God is not merely bringing you back to a place you left. He's resurrecting what was buried in pain and wrapping it in power. This is the season of divine reversal. You don't just get the opportunity again. You get it with the strength to manage it. What died in delay is now rising in dominion. This door isn't just about what's next. It's about who you've become in the process. You're not just stepping forward. You're stepping into fulfillment. Heaven gave you wings during their silence. While others thought you were dormant, you were developing. You were learning to fly in private. Heaven tucked you under its wing and trained your spirit. And now, your wings are strong. Your endurance is divine. You've been lifted above old habits, old fears, old patterns. You've been trained in turbulence. Now, you're ready to soar. You are elevation in motion. They won't recognize you. Those who knew you as the desperate one, the broken one, the silent one, they will not recognize the crowned warrior rising now. Your transformation is so profound, some will assume you've changed too much. But the truth is, you've simply evolved into the version of yourself that heaven always saw. Don't shrink to comfort those confused by your growth. Don't dim your light to fit back into rooms that couldn't hold your calling. You are elevation in motion. Keep rising. You've become too strong to fit through that old frame. That old door was designed for the unhealed you, the small you, the unsure you. But this door that cracks now, it's built for your boldness, your breakthrough, your burning purpose. Don't try to shrink back to get in. Heaven is expanding the frame to match your fire. The fit has changed because you have changed. If this message speaks to you and you feel led, consider sending a super chat with a gift of $10. Your generosity fuels this sacred work and helps us deliver more prophetic content to those in need. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type I am elevated in the comments if this word is yours. Blessing code 8181 is now igniting new wings in the spirit. This door was always meant to return to you. Heaven never forgot. Destiny was never denied. The timing was never lost. This door, this opportunity, this calling, this divine intersection, it was yours from the beginning. It was marked with your name in celestial ink before you ever faced rejection, before you ever heard no, before you ever broke down crying, thinking it had slipped through your fingers. It didn't slip. It was stored, yielded, reserved. Heaven held it until your spirit could carry the weight of the unlocking, until your hands were clean, until your discernment was sharp, until your obedience was proven. And now, the return isn't random, it is revelation. But only when your hands were clean and spirit right. This door does not respond to begging. It responds to purification. The blood on your hands, not physical, but emotional and spiritual, had to be washed away. The motives had to be purified. The ambitions had to be laid bare. Your heart had to pass through the fire. What you are walking into now is not just reward. It is response. Heaven waited until you could be trusted with the very thing you once idolized. You had to be emptied to be entrusted. You had to be refined to be reintroduced to the path you nearly lost. What seemed like loss was preparation for dominion. You thought you lost something, a job, a connection, a future. But in truth, you were being equipped for dominion. Dominion isn't given to the desperate. It's assigned to the disciplined. What was stripped from you wasn't your destiny, it was your distraction. What was removed wasn't your purpose, it was your pressure. What was shaken wasn't your promise, it was your pride. And now dominion calls your name. This is no longer about what you hoped for. It is about what heaven prepared for you. This is your unlocking. Your name is in motion. The scroll has been read. The name hath been called, and it is yours. Archangel Michael stands by the opening door with your name echoing through the spiritual corridors. This isn't just a return to something. This is a rising into identity. Your name is moving. Through systems, through boardrooms, through hearts, through divine alignments. Someone is thinking of you right now without knowing why. Heaven has whispered your name into their spirit. And what they will release, what they will offer, will be the fulfillment of prayers you stopped praying out loud. You are not being tested, you are being promoted. Yes, you faced trials. Yes, the pressure has felt unbearable. But this moment, is not another test. It is the start of your promotion. This is your elevation season. The tests are behind you. The proving ground has been passed. And now, God moves you forward not because you fought, but because you endured. The strength you gained, the perspective you developed, the tears you wept in silence, they became your promotion papers. Heaven stamps them now with the seal of approve. The one thing holding you back must be surrendered. And yet, one more thing remains. One last cord must be cut. One final piece of your old self must die. Before this door swings fully open, there is something, or someone, that must be surrendered. Heaven will not allow contamination to enter this new covenant. The blessing is pure, and so must be the vessel. Ask yourself, what am I clinging to that no longer belongs in this season? What do I refuse to release that is quietly draining my spirit? If you let it go, God will launch you. If you surrender it fully, heaven will accelerate what's already on its way. God says, if you leave it, I'll launch you. This is the final warning wrapped in a promise. Don't look back. Don't delay. Don't debate. Don't justify holding on. The rocket of your destiny is fully fueled, and heaven is only waiting on your hands to be empty. Let it go, and watch what rises. Let it die, and watch what lives. Say goodbye to what was, and say yes to what's waiting. If this message has ignited your spirit, and you feel led to support this sacred channel, consider sending a super thanks with a gift of $10, $20, or whatever is on your heart. Your support helps bring more life-giving, spirit-led content like this into the world. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the Support Here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And if this is stirring something deep in you, make sure to subscribe for more exclusive prophetic revelations, real-time spiritual insights, and divine direction. Heaven is not done speaking. Type I leave IT behind in the comments if this word is yours. Blessing code 5252 is now unlocking what was delayed. Speak this aloud. I release what no longer aligns. Let it come out of your mouth. Speak it with your chest, your soul, your history, and your hope. Words have power, and this declaration opens gates in the spirit realm. Say it until it echoes off your disappointments. Say it until it drowns out every lie you believed. This is not just a phrase. It is a key. It unlocks the next chapter. It disarms the enemy's last attempt to hold you hostage. I release what no longer aligns. With those words, heaven writes a new page with your name at the top. Your destiny demands decisions, not delay. Indecision is a silent thief. It has stolen years, opportunities, clarity. But no more. This is the hour of action. Divine hesitation is over. What you do now echoes into what opens next. You've seen what delay does. It weakens the promise. It fogs your vision. It confuses your heart. Heaven is commanding you to move, not just meditate. Destiny does not respond to convenience. It responds to courage. It's time to act, even if you're afraid. Especially if you're afraid. Heaven honors obedience. Partial yes is still no. God is not looking for partial sacrifice. He's not moved by half-surrender. Half-essies carry the scent of rebellion. You cannot enter a full promise with a divided spirit. The fullness of the open door can only be accessed with full obedience. It must cost you. It must stretch you. But it will bless you. This next move demands your whole heart. Heaven is watching for your complete alignment, not your convenience. What you do now determines what opens next. This is the crossroads. And the Spirit says, choose wisely. Don't let fear speak louder than your faith. Don't let the comfort of the past seduce you back into stagnation. What you do with this door, how you walk through it, how you carry what's given, it will shape the next 7 years of your life. Heaven is handing you keys, and your response determines whether you hold them or drop them. You are aligned for something historic. Move boldly. This is not average favor. This is not a recycled opportunity. This is history-making alignment. You are part of a prophetic puzzle that will shift not just your household, but your region. You are being called as a forerunner, a breaker, a forward. And you don't need confirmation from man. You need courage from God. This move will demand your voice, your authority, your confidence. Walk boldly, not because you have it all together, but because God already went before you. Declare your readiness. Heaven needs your agreement. Speak it aloud. Heaven is listening. Angels are recording. Declare, I am ready. Say it until your fear bows. Say it until your old self weeps. Say it until the very air around you shifts. You are not waiting on God. God is waiting on you. The earth is groaning for the sons and daughters of God to arise. And your arising is your agreement. June 1st isn't just a date. It's divine deployment. Circle it. Mark it. Sanctify it. June 1st is not merely the beginning of a month. It is the birthing of a movement. You will remember this date. You will look back on it as the day the heavens collided with your timeline. The divine door opens because you were ready. You were aligned. You said yes. And now it begins. Type I am deployed in the comments if this is your moment. Blessing code 6464 is releasing divine instructions over your next steps. In the unseen, something is being returned to you. Even now, while your eyes perceive stillness, the heavens are moving. Even now, while your heart wonders if anything is shifting, angelic hands are negotiating the return of what was taken, what was delayed, what was stolen. The Spirit whispers, what was yours has never truly left you. It was simply detained in divine timing. And in the silent chambers of heaven, where no eye sees and no ear hears, your restoration is already underway. Your name hath been written on celestial scrolls. Your cause has been argued in courts of glory. What the enemy tried to label denied, heaven has sealed as redeemed. Heaven hath been negotiating your restoration quietly. You thought nothing was happening because you couldn't see results. You mistook the silence for stagnation. But let this truth sink deep. Heaven often moves loudest in silence. While you mourned, the Spirit of God was warring. While you slept, angels stood on guard. While you worshiped through your pain, you were laying bricks in the unseen realm. Every prayer, every whisper, every tear, they formed a legal case in the heavenlies. And the judge of all creation has already ruled in your favor. Angels have fought battles you will never see. You've wondered why the warfare has been so fierce, why the confusion has been thick, why the pressure has intensified as June 1st approaches. It is because spiritual territory is shifting. It is because the demons who once laid claim to your delay have been cast out. Angelic warfare has broken the strongholds of sabotage. Legions of light have surrounded your name, reclaiming what you forgot was even promised to you. Heaven is at war for your unveiling, and the battle has been fierce. But the victory is already decided. While you wept, records were written in gold. Your tears were not wasted. They were not ignored. They were not simply emotional release. They were spiritual ink. While you wept in private, heaven documented every groan. Every sigh became an entry. Every cry became a command. Angels transcribed your agony into purpose. Your grief has become a scroll, a record of faithfulness in the fire. And now, that scroll is being opened, and the golden ink of your perseverance is speaking louder than words. The heavens do not forget what you suffered through with surrender. The grief you thought wasted was a spiritual offering. You thought you lost too much. You thought the heartache meant you had failed. But the truth is, your grief was a prophetic offering. Like incense rising from the altar, your pain became your priesthood. Your suffering sanctified your assignment. You were broken, but never bitter. You bled, but never bowed to darkness. You ached, but never abandoned the voice of God. That grief, it purified you. It readied you. And now, heaven repays. You are about to witness what silence birthed. A manifestation is coming, and it will not look loud. It will not come with fanfare. It will come as a holy hush, a quiet door that opens wide. Your breakthrough will arrive like a whisper at first, but it will roar by its impact. You will see the fruit of what was grown in secret. What was exchanged behind the veil is about to appear before your very eyes. Heaven didn't forget. God didn't lose track. Your wait was sacred. And now, your witness is near. Your spirit felt it first. Now your eyes will see. For weeks, months, maybe even years, you have felt something moving. You have known that this season would not end empty. Your spirit picked up the scent of destiny before it ever materialized. And now, your faith is about to meet your reality. The invisible is about to become undeniable. Your eyes will see what your heart hoped for. The door that once stood closed is not just creaking, it's opening. And it's been reserved just for you. Type "My eyes will see" in the comments if you believe your moment has arrived. Blessing code 7171 is now releasing visible fruit from unseen prayers. What was stolen must now be returned multiplied. This is not a time for apology. It's a time for restitution. Heaven has seen every injustice, every betrayal, every act of theft committed against your heart, your time, your energy, your destiny. And now, Archangel Michael declares, justice is being released. What was taken unlawfully must now be restored by divine order. The enemy will not return it the way it left. It will come back pressed down, shaken together, running over. Multiplied. God never just replaces, He restores. He revives. He recompenses. Heaven is issuing divine reversal in your favor. Everything is turning. Where there was delay, now there will be acceleration. Where there was silence, now there will be songs of deliverance. Where there was grief, now there will be glory. The tables are turning. The verdict has shifted. What once cursed you is now blessing you. That name they smeared, God is now anointing it. That door they locked, God is now kicking it open. Reversal is not a metaphor, it's an order. And that order has been signed with the seal of heaven. The ones who wronged you will watch your rise. Not in arrogance, not in vengeance, but in vindication. God is not raising you to show off. He's raising you to show them He never left you. Those who spoke against you, those who mocked your vision, those who benefited from your silence, they will now witness your ascension. And not a single word will be needed. Your life will be the sermon. Your elevation will be the response. Your glow will be the answer. Let God be true, and every liar be silenced. Justice is not delayed. It is divinely timed. You thought justice had been forgotten. But divine timing is never early and never late. God waited until your heart was healed enough not to weaponize your blessing against your enemies. He waited until you could receive restoration without revenge. He waited until you could rise without retaliation. And now you're ready. And now he restores. And now he releases. The timeline has aligned. Justice is being carried on wings of wind. And it knows your address. God balances scales in the most unexpected ways. Sometimes the people you thought would apologize never do. Sometimes the job you lost is replaced by an entirely new calling. Sometimes the door that was shut leads to a divine window you never saw coming. Let God surprise you. Let him repay in ways that don't make sense to the world. You'll be smiling at tables you didn't build. You'll be walking in shoes you didn't buy. You'll be speaking in rooms you never applied for. Divine reversal doesn't ask permission. It announces heaven's authority. You'll rise without revenge. Heaven will handle it. Take your hands off it. Stop trying to make it right in your own strength. Lay down the need to prove yourself. Stop rehearsing the betrayal in your mind. Heaven is handling it. God is the God of justice, not just mercy. And his justice is poetic. You don't need to clap back. You need to stand still. Your strength is in your surrender. Your power is in your poise. Your rise is your response. Everything taken is now being reordered for glory. A trauma, a delay, a silence, a shutdown. All of it restructured, rearranged, redeemed for glory. You will be able to point to every place that broke you and say, there, that was the doorway to destiny. God wastes nothing. You will use it all. Every failure becomes fuel. Every wound becomes wisdom. Every exile becomes elevation. Your story will shine, because your scars have been sealed in glory. If this message has confirmed what your spirit already knew, and you feel led to support this sacred movement, consider giving a super thanks with a gift of $5, $10, or $20. Your generous support helps us continue to create life-giving, spirit-led messages that touch lives across the world. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the Support Here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. Type "I received justice" in the comments if this word is yours. Blessing code 7878 is now executing divine reversal over your life. You are not behind. You are being aligned. Every detour was direction. Every delay was design. You didn't miss it. You weren't forgotten. You are exactly where heaven needs you to be. Not one step early, not one moment late. The world may measure success by speed, but heaven measures by surrender. And your surrender has kept you in alignment. Others rushed ahead and got lost. But you stayed still. You stayed faithful. And now, the alignment is perfect. The gate is open. The angels are ready. The promise is in motion. This door opens when your hands are empty. No more gleaming. No more carrying what's expired. No more negotiating with what God already removed. You don't need to drag anything forward. You need to let go. Release the old vision. Release the old version of you. Empty your hands of bitterness, regret, fear. The door will not respond to full hands. Only the surrendered walk through. So drop it. All of it. And prepare to receive more than you ever expected. Heaven sees, seals, and sends you. Go forth. The angels have taken note. Your obedience is recorded. Your name has been sealed. And now, you are being sent. Not put. Not beg, not forced. Sent by divine instruction. Walk boldly. To be powerfully. Live unapologetically. You are heaven's response to a broken generation. You are God's vessel of restoration. You are marked for more. And this door is not the end. It is your beginning. Say aloud, I leave behind what no longer serves. Let those words echo. Let them finalize the release. This is your spiritual severing. Your declaration of detachment. Your invitation to destiny. Speak it again and again until it imprints your soul. I leave behind what no longer serves. You are not bound. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are becoming. You are covered, chosen, and called. Rise now. Covered by grace. Chosen by heaven. Called by name. This is your time. This is your door. This is your confirmation. Rise, beloved. Rise in purpose. Rise in power. Rise in praise. June 1st is not just a date. It is your divine doorway. Walk through it with fire in your eyes and freedom in your hands. Archangel Michael stands in witness. Heaven rejoices in your yes. Type I leave IT behind in the comments if this is your final affirmation. Blessing code 9999 is sealing your release and launching your rise.